Hi first graders, I'm going to walk you through some of your sight word activities and the math game that you would find in your independent work folder. So you received a folder when you were at school last week that had some pages inside of it that look like this. Remember that the white pages are the ones for sight word practice, and the blue pages or the colorful pages that you're going to end up having in the back of your folder are for math games. So let's go through each of the sight words to start with, okay? So this week you're going to have some new sight words to practice at home. And there's going to be a seesaw activity that's given to you that tells you what all of your sight words are. So make sure you go into Seesaw and look for the sight words activity. And when you find it, it'll show you all of your sight words for the week. So one of your sight words is the. So what you're going to do on this page is type and spell. So for this page, for the word the, you can write the word the at the bottom. Then you can put your marker down and type it. So you're going to find those letters on the keyboard and just pretend to type with your finger. So T-H-E. All right? Another one of your sight words is she. So you can write the word she down at the bottom, and then you can use your finger, put your marker down, use your finger, and type the word, find it on the keyboard, S-H-E. Okay, so continue doing that with all of your sight words, and when you're done and ready to move on to a new activity, don't forget that you can erase, and then when everything has erased, you can move on to the next page. All right, this one is called Crack the Code. This is the one where you get to draw pictures that kind of match up with a letter. So you really have to pay attention to each of the letters and see what letter matches with the picture. Okay, so let's say we're going to do the word the. When I do it, I like to write the letters kind of small at the top up here so that I don't forget how to spell the. So I wrote my letters in. Now what I need to do is find the picture that matches with T. So you look up here at the top and you find the picture that matches with T. So T is right here. It's a bone. So what you'll do is draw the bone. That's your first picture for the sight word the. Okay, so I've got a bone that matches up with T. Okay, the next thing is you're going to do an H for the. That's the second letter. So if you look up here, you can see that the H is these googly eyes. So down at the bottom, you'll draw some googly eyes next to your bone. Okay, so draw those in. Then you'll do one more, E. So look up at the top, find the picture that matches with an E. Right here at the top, it's this big smiley face. So you're going to draw your circle and your smiley face like that. So make sure that your pictures are matching what you've done at the top, okay? Then you can do another sight word. So another one of your sight words this week is go. So you can write at the top G-O so that you don't forget what letters you're practicing. So when you're writing go, you have to look at the top to find what your picture is. So I see G up here at the top. It's just a circle, just kind of a circle drawn under the G. Okay, and then the O right here, the picture that matches for O is this arrow pointing to the right. So I'll draw an arrow pointing to the right, and that's your code for the word the. Okay, and you will continue doing that for all of your sight words. You can practice them a second time if you'd like, or you can move on to another activity. If you decide to move on to another activity, you can use this activity called creative spelling. In this activity, you're going to need the dice, and you have an activity in Seesaw that is a dice that we practiced last week, where you can click on the dice and it'll start to roll, and then if you click on the dice again, it'll stop. So let's say you're using Seesaw and you clicked on the dice and it landed on 4. You would be practicing your sight words in bubble letters, and all of the bubble letters for that are right here. So you can look on your page for examples of how to draw those words. So if I was doing the word the, I would look up here and I would see what T looks like, and I would draw a bubble letter T. Okay, just like that. And then I would practice the H for bubble letters. And then I could practice the last letter of the is an E. So I could look up here at the top for my example and see what the E is going to look like right here, and then draw an E. Okay? If you want to keep going, you can do the word the again, or you could pick a new sight word. But you'll roll the dice again on your Seesaw activity, and then you'll try a different a different type of spelling or a different type of writing depending on what your dice landed on. So let's say this time my dice landed on 2, and so I'm going to do some dot letters. So I'm using this as an example, and I'm putting dots on my letters like the letters are formed here. So if I wanted to keep doing the, I could do that, and I could put T, and then I noticed that they have the T with dots at the top and dots on the cross. And then I also notice that there's an H comes next, so I'm going to do those with the dots. And the last one, E, and I'm going to dot just the last part there. Okay, so that would be how you would do dotted letters. You could do a new sight word. Maybe I want to try go. I roll my dice on Seesaw, and then I end up getting cursive letters. So you're going to try your best. Some of these are a little tricky. Writing G, and then I'm going to add in an O. Okay, so just practicing different types of spelling with different sight words of the week, and use your dice that you roll on Seesaw. The next activity is called pyramid words. For this activity, there's an example right here to help you, but for this one you're going to spell the words one letter, adding one letter at a time. So if I was doing the word she, I would start with S, then I would do SH. Then if I go down one more, I can add another letter, SHE. For this one, you have to erase every time you write a word, and then you start a new one. For the, I would put T, TH, THE. Okay, so you're just adding one letter every time you go down to a different row. The last one is pretty easy. You just write 3 times. So if you're doing the word the, you write the. Go, go, go. She. Okay, so you're just writing it 3 times. That one's pretty easy. All right, really quickly, let's go over your math games for this week. So remember that these are the colored pages in your math or in your independent work folder. This one, you also need the dice on your Seesaw activity. So you might have seen that you had 2 dice assigned to you today. One is for the sight words and one is for the math game. When you're playing your math game, this one's called One More, One Less. You roll your dice, and then you can either go up 1 from whatever number you rolled or down 1 and do 1 less. If I rolled and I got a 3, I could go up to 4 or I could go down to 2. Okay, whatever number you decide, if you want to go 1 more to 3 or go down to 2, you color in whichever one you want to pick. So you're rolling the dice and then you're going 1 more or 1 less. You can choose whichever one you'd like. Okay, your last math game, you also need the dice. You're just going to make a graph here of the numbers that you are rolling the most, and you're going to see which number might make it all the way to the top. So you roll your dice and maybe you landed on 3 when you're using that dice activity on Seesaw. You would go to 3 and color in that square. Just like that. You roll the dice again on your Seesaw activity. If you landed on 6, you would color in the 6. Okay? And you continue going until somebody reaches the top. Alrighty, so don't forget you need your dry erase marker, you need an eraser, and you need your independent work folder that has all of your pages inside of it. So remember, the white pages are for sight words and the blue or colorful pages that will show up in the back of your folder are going to be for math games. Alright, have fun, first graders!